Hello friends, this is Terry and I'm here today to talk about the Sun conjunct Mercury, conjunct Saturn, and the mystical wishing star Skat, all happening on February 28th when wishes really can come true. This is a wishing conjunction if we've ever had one, and Saturn in Pisces at 9 degrees will have this massive conjunction with the Sun and Mercury, both also in 9 degrees. And I am really interested in this. I took a deep dive because my moon is in Pisces at 9 degrees. So this will be an exact conjunction with my Pisces moon. And so I'm listening. What's going to happen in Pisces on February 28th. I am really excited to see what happens. And this triple threat conjunction is also aligned to the star Skat. It's S-K-A-T, known as the wishing star. So if you have a wish you would like to come true, if you want, you can share it in the comments. But I learned about this wishing star from the Astrology Kings website. And if you ever are looking for more esoteric stars, Astrology Kings website is a great resource for learning astrology and learning some of the more esoteric stars in different constellations. And the wish comes from Skat star being in the 11th house that holds Aquarius. Though it's showing up as Pisces 9 degrees currently because of the precession of stars, Skat's original placement was in that 11th house, the realm of hopes, desires, and wishes coming true. And this is like Cinderella asking the fairies of wishes to be granted, but it could all melt away by the next sunrise, right? So I just keep thinking, be careful what you wish for with this magical conjunction. I think you should make a wish. And Skat star has the nature of both Saturn, the Lord of Karma, and Jupiter, the king who grants wishes. So I will make a big wish on this day. I already have a wish in mind on that day. And I advise you to keep your wishes to your heart alone. I know I said you could leave your wish in the comment, but if it's a really big wish, if it's something really meaningful to you, I would just leave it to your heart alone, because I truly believe that when we tell people what we are wishing for, they may alter it a little bit. I had this experience when I lived in Seattle and I wanted to move to Bend. That was my wish. I live in Bend now. I did manifest it. But at the time, I told all my clients and friends about my wish to move out of Seattle and move to Bend. And they didn't want me to leave. So many of my massage clients did not want me to leave Seattle. So that was a bad idea to tell them I was wishing to leave. One of my clients literally said, I am praying that you will have to stay here. She was praying against my wish. So when you tell others about your big wish or your wants or what you're trying to manifest, sometimes they can shut it down energetically just because they don't want you to do that thing for whatever reason. So on this rare magical conjunction of Saturn, Mercury, and Sun, and with this magical wishing star of Skat, this wants you to wish and dream really big. But keep it in your journal. Keep it like a secret for now. Skat star is traditionally found in the constellation of Aquarius. I'll post an image of it for you. And Aquarius in the 11th house is a place of good fortune and friendship. And it indicates full flowing rivers because Aquarius is the water bearer who brings the waters to flow through the rivers and springs with more than enough water. And this is good news for those of us in drought situations, like where I live in the Pacific Northwest. We've actually had a drought, and water is wealth in feng shui. So the waters of this winter will bring greater wealth to our world, and this is really good news. And Saturn, of course, Saturn rules over wealth. So when you have Sun, Saturn, and Mercury conjunction, you can really increase your wealth at this conjunction. And we just did a wealth DNA code activation, sound healing with Reiki. I'll put a link down below. I am amazed at how much it has worked on my own brain. I was a little bit skeptical, to be honest, when I tried this recording. And I will link it below if you want to try it. And it's been about 30 days of listening to it every day. It's really easy for me to listen to it because I listen to it while I'm doing massages. And money is just showing up in really strange, unexpected ways. And so that is interesting. I would love for you to try it too. And this Skat star constellation that is found in Aquarius, but because of the procession of stars shows up at Pisces 9 degrees, is found in the knee of the water bear. You can see, I'll put the link to the picture where you can see the star is right at the knee. And in Chinese medicine, knees rule over our kidney qi. It's about water, it's about being hydrated, but it can also be bringing up fear and anxiety. And what fears or anxieties are keeping you from making your wishes come true? That is something to look into. And Sun conjunct Mercury gives us those Jedi mind skills to have mastery over our communications, our planning. This is a great time to write. And in Pisces, it's so mystical, magical. This is a time when you can tap into your intuition, your psychic abilities, and really channeling that divine wisdom. And I love to do free writing. I like to just get out my journal and ask a question and then just write whatever shows up. So you could just say, what should I do about whatever? And then you just allow these divine messages to come through. Instead of forcing like what you think you should do, just kind of do some free writing. It takes practice, but I've been doing this for over a decade and it is amazing. And we have some really cool manifesting journals. I'll drop down in the descriptions. If you're looking for a journal, we have some fun ones. But just allowing these messages to come through. And I do this when I'm reading astrology charts too. A lot of times I will say, what does this transit mean for this person? And I'll just do some free writing. Even when I'm writing these astrology little transits. Today I just tapped in and I was doing a little bit of free writing. And I'm amazed at what comes through. And I can always tell it's coming from a higher place or it's divine wisdom because it's often spoken in words that I don't usually use. And that's when you know you're like channeling the writing. I promise you, if you try this, something will come through. Give it a try. It's really fun. This conjunction with Sun, Mercury, and Saturn in Pisces is a perfect time to experiment with this. And I sat with this transit a little longer today than I usually do. And I did some free writing around it out of curiosity. And that was the word that kept coming up. Be curious. Pisces is like an elder, the 12th house, ruler of the 12th house. It's about letting go of what you think you know, because 12th house is always about letting go of your preconceived ideas about what's going to happen, letting go of anything that is holding you back, and just being like a child's imaginative mind where you are just curious. Just be curious on this conjunction. Like Alice in Wonderland, just exploring your thoughts and feelings and aspirations. And so often we think we know what we need to do next or we have a plan. But this year, the plan is going to keep changing. So be adaptable, be curious. We need to listen to the higher calling, to ask for divine help, to research things that we don't know about, and just be adaptable, be mentally adaptable. And the older and wiser you get, the more you know that you don't know anything. So this is a time when you don't have to have the answers, and you can just come to life with questions. And perhaps you have some elder people in your life, a teacher, a parent, or a wise mentor, and you can just ask and be curious. And I invite you to give yourself some time and space around February 28th. If you can take a mental health day on February 28th, to have the time and space for deep reflection, journal writing, and soul searching. Keep your schedule light this week if you can. And Saturn in Pisces, this is a longer transit too. Saturn in Pisces becomes the sea goat, the mystical, magical sea goat, where Saturn in Pisces gets its tail, and where the goat re-enters the ocean from where it first began. And this ocean is like our subconscious mind. It's just so primordial. It's going back to our roots. And this is just a mystical, magical place for Saturn, the Lord of Karma, the great soul teacher. Saturn naturally rules over boundaries. And Pisces, the fish, is boundless. That fish can swim anywhere in the great big ocean. So it's an interesting time. This is a different place, but this is Saturn was originally the ruler over Pisces. So this is Saturn going back to Saturn's roots. And Saturn likes rules to keep us safe. And Pisces rules over the sea. And if you think about it, you do need rules when you're out at sea. If you've ever been on a sailboat in the deep sea, I've done like deep sea fishing, and there's lots of rules of the sea. And it's about paying attention to your surroundings, the wind, the weather. And so we will have these heightened senses during this conjunction. Heightened senses about our surroundings with Saturn in Pisces, who's trying to keep us safe as we enter this unknown sea, this unknown territory of 2024. As I said in my new moon Aquarius, we are preparing for the unknown. We're in uncharted territory. We're in the deep seas now. And Sun conjunct Saturn transit means you want to be seen. You want to promote yourself, put yourself out there. And I'm working on the Bend Health Guide right now, and we are promoting so many local healthy businesses. And it just feels so aligned to this transit. Mercury's about communication, and people are writing their stories, and we're doing pictures and videos. It's really cool. But this is actually a good transit to launch your book, to put out your podcast or new business, especially if that business is around spirituality or healing. That's 12th house Pisces, like spiritual and healing. Maybe you're writing poetry. I know somebody here that writes poetry. Whatever you're working on, it's time to be seen. It's time to put your work forth in the world. This is a great launch date. And Sun conjunct Saturn and Mercury in Pisces says, if you believe it, you can achieve it. And so depending where Pisces shows up in your chart, whatever house it's in, if you know what house Pisces is for you, for me, I'm 7th house Pisces. It shows up in my relationships and partnerships. And leave it in the comments if you know what house in your astrology chart Pisces shows up. Depending where Pisces shows up in your chart personally, there can be fear, insecurity, even sickness on this day, because these are things that Pisces rules as the 12th house. Can be, insanity even. Those are all 12th house things that might come up under this influence. So if something you were working on, or even your relationships or friendships, start to seem like they're falling apart under this conjunction, it's just a sign that you may need a course correction, like that fishing boat in the deep seas. As these planets ride the turbulent seas of Pisces, sometimes things can fall away that weren't meant for you. And sometimes not getting what you want is the best thing for you when you look back on your life. And I love that saying, what is meant for you will not pass you by. And if it passes you by, then it wasn't meant for you. So this works for buying a home too. So many homes I didn't get, but they weren't the right one. And then you get the home you're meant to live in, right? So this is an excellent day to do some space clearing, some decluttering and energy clearing, to just clear out any blocks to your forward growth and spend the day clearing clutter from your life. Saturn loves for things to be decluttered, and Mercury gives you the mental clarity to know how to clean things out, removing the dead wood so that you can grow something new that wants to come to you. And I just want to read the Pisces Sabian symbol for this massive triple threat conjunction with that lucky wishing star. And it's all about winning, which is really cool. So maybe this is, this could be a good day to buy a lottery ticket. What the heck? I look at certain wishing stars and I'm like, yeah, I might buy a lottery ticket. But Pisces at 9 degrees, it's 9 degrees with 23, I believe. So I'm going to read 9 degrees and 10 degrees because that's what we're moving into on this conjunction. Pisces at 9 degrees, a jockey spurs his horse, intent on outdistancing his rivals. And there is an intense mobilization of energy and skill in the drive for success in any social performance affected by a competitive spirit. And since the end of archaic ages and the stressing of individualism, especially in our American society, which worships material images of success, the desire to win any kind of race engenders an often feverish release of energy controlled by skill and practice. Wherever this symbol is found, it indicates the need to spur one's total being towards the attainment of whatever goal it may be. Every unnecessary consideration is to be dismissed in the one-pointed attempt to reach one's goal. Self-quickening is the keynote. And we're moving into Pisces at 10 degrees here. So an aviator pursues his journey, flying through ground-obscuring clouds. And this is man's ability to develop powers and skills which, by transcending natural limitations, allow him to operate in mental, spiritual realms. And the keynote is man's ability to develop powers and skills which, by transcending natural limitations, allow him to operate in mental, spiritual realms. This symbol synthesizes previous symbols with dedication to the community, self-assertion, and the ambition to reach a goal or to win. Man is seen mastering difficulties to transcend limitations and boundaries of a localized living space. He does so as an individual in command of powerful energies, but also as heir to the industry of countless innovators who came before. And this evokes an achievement of mastery, winning and mastery. This is what you can accomplish on this Sun conjunct Mercury and Saturn in Pisces. I hope you will use this transit to make an incredible wish, and I hope it comes true. Thanks for watching.